Here we go, time for a track day.
Track day's finally arrived. I'm up at 4:30 a.m. and hitting the road before sunup. We are cruising down the freeways in Perth. Great thing is there's next to 0 turns between my house and Collie, even though it's 2.5 hours away.
Early start, 4:30 a.m, 2.5 hour drive, which is as boring as batshit most of the time.
Stopping at the BP halfway there for a bit of a Macca's breakfast and to fuel up the blacks. Turn up the hill, smash it into town. Straight through the town and you're at the track. Okay guys, welcome to Collie Motorplex. This is a great little track about 2.5 hours south of Perth. Track length is about 2.5 kilometres. It's got 13 corners, which is quite a lot for such a small track. I'm here usually part of the coaching staff, so I'll generally be taking group 1, 2 or 3 riders around. We'll effectively give them a bit of guidance, get them up to speed, and in the afternoon we let them off the leash and they get to go fast, hopefully with a few new skills under the belt. But today we're with Track Days. These guys have been around for quite a while. They're kind of the first track day operator in WA. Got a really good coaching group. You know, no matter which level you're in, except for the top one, you'll have coaches looking after you, giving you a bit of guidance, looking out for you. Basically, make sure that your skill set goes up and you hopefully get back in the pits safely at the end of the day. With all your bike and yourself intact. The groups that I've been involved with really picking things up really quickly. A lot of them probably already, you know, I'm working with group 2. A lot of them probably ready to go to group 3. We've got some juniors running with us. They're on the little 150s. They're absolutely flying because this is the highest level that they're allowed in on their little bikes. But yeah, it's all going to plan quite nicely today. Wow, check out that. Triumph Sprint ST, that's a big beast of a bike, doing group 1. Learning some skills, hopefully it translates well onto the road. There are a large variety of bikes these days. The majority will generally be sports bikes, but there are also nakeds, tourers, even big adventure bikes like the big BMWs have been on track around here. Finally heading out on the track.
Yep.
This is with group 2. I'm one of the coaches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch up to some of the riders, follow them around. Group 2, so we're not going to have any people that are at MotoGP level in here. These guys are all learning. They're all relatively new to doing track days. They've probably only done 3 or 4 days at this point. They've probably got a lot of road skill up their sleeves, but yeah.
You'd think they'd be used to riding on the road. They're dodging curbs and cars and kids with soccer balls and
yep. But
else.
Now they're learning about lines, braking, and all the intricacies of doing a track day, which is, you know, exploring the limits of your machine without having to worry about all that cars and curbs and street furniture.
You raise a good point there, because you can go there and you're not going to have to worry about a car pulling out of a side street. So I find that if I follow them around for 2 or 3 corners, and I actually get them to work on those 2 or 3 corners. Try to string them together, like for example, a collie where you've got that bottom left-hander which it shoots up the hill there. I'll always try and work, and everybody always panics up there because on a big bike the thing sticks up on the back tyre straight away. It's just the way the land is laid down and the way the track is. I don't know what word you'd use for that, but on the big bike it always wheel stands uphill, and if you haven't got all the cool shit, well then you're just trying to fight the front end. But trying to string together the top
even
of that
with
corner,
all the cool shit,
yeah,
you're still trying to fight the front end.
But even trying to string together the top there where you're braking, so on the big bike, you're probably touching, on the super bike I reckon I was probably knocking on 225, 230 maybe a little bit more possibly.
Yep.
Back in the second gear, brake it, try and brake as deep as you can. The 150 metre board there is too far for the corner. You can brake deeper than that. I think you can.
You can go past it, definitely.
Yeah, but if you brake any later than that, you can't brake at the 100 metre board. I was going to end up on your head, on your ass, look like a dickhead. But I generally try to brake about 130, 125 there, I think, and really sort of use the engine, use the gearbox, punch it back through. Because I think from memory on the superbike, I think I was only touching 4th up there.
Yeah, same. I'm in 4th, but it's one of those
back 2
corners.
gears, throw on the side.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to come up because as the thing levels out, you've got to assume that your front's just going to get more and more grip, and then just flip it in and commit. And you've really, like half of those corners up there, really late apex.
You got to tip it in late because there's no early entry there. But you tip it in there. And you sort of kind of got to get the thing on your knee, and you sort of run it right out. Like you use the whole track, and that's what I kept on saying to these people. Try and hit the apex, be back on, pull the trigger straight away. I mean, obviously don't go encouraging these people just to fucking open it up and give it everything, but throw it on the side, pull the trigger, get the thing on the throttle, run it out to the ripple strip because there's that ripple strip on the outside there. But you can make that one corner. You sort of as you're running out, you sort of pick it up a tiny bit, don't you? You don't just keep on the side the whole way with the knee buried. You're sort of running it out.
So that's the end of the first session. We all headed back into the pits. We gathered everyone around for the briefing for the next session, and then we let everyone sit back for the next half hour, refresh, refuel, get rested, get ready, and then we headed out for our next session.
Okay, BMW it's playing up again. In here, you can see definitely got a water leak again. I'm at the track. It's pissing out now. I've started it up, got it up to temperature. It's not showing any signs while it's at temperature that it's leaking water. So the only thing we can think of now at the moment is pushing the head gasket and then allowing water to escape while the cylinder pressures are really high. So that's the end of my day for today. I'll pack up, go home. Looks like engine out. Check the head gasket.
And on that disappointing note, it was time to pack all my stuff up.
So did the fucking coach, mate.
I did hang around for a while and did offer as much advice as I could to the guys in my coaching group.
So did the fucking coach, mate.
But a couple of hours later, it was time to start the 2.5 hour journey back home with my broken bike.
So did the fucking coach, mate.
So to see what happens next and what is actually wrong with the bike, please like and subscribe and you'll know when the next video is ready and out.
So did the fucking coach, mate.